Good morning, everyone, or good day, depending on where you're joining us from. Thank you for joining us this morning. We hope your week has been off to a good start, and more so, we hope it does get better. I want to welcome our new Spatial Innovision webinar attendees. Just to let you know, these webinars happen every last Wednesday of each month at this time, so 10 a.m. local time, 11 a.m. EST. And though I must acknowledge that today is March 1st, so I want to also say happy March to everyone. I'm also sharing a warm welcome to our returning attendees. Some of you I've seen at previous webinars, so you've become familiar with our webinar series, and I want to thank you for joining us again, and looking forward to what we hope to be another interactive session today. So today's webinar is Enhancing Mapping with Drone Technology, and our technical presenter today is Mr. Everard Johnson, who you see on the left of the screen here. He's our Geomatics product specialist here at Spatial Innovision, and he will journey us through the features and capabilities of a few different drones which we offer, and share about the accompanying drone mapping software that you use to process the data that you captured with your drone, to create beautiful and very purposeful maps, allowing for quicker decision making in your organization, saving you time in the field, optimizing your resources, and best of all, providing you with a good return on your investment. I, Matthew Webster, I'm the Vice President of Geospatial Technologies here at Spatial. Within my current portfolio, I'm tasked with integrating GIS mapping technology into the small national government, environment, education, commercial, NGO, NPO, climate change, those user markets. However, today in specific, I am just a moderator. As a few of you may be aware, or as you should be aware, participants who stay for the entire webinar today will receive a continuing professional development certificate of attendance from the Spatial Academy, as part of Spatial Innovision's 25th year celebrations. And some of you who would have attended the January webinar should have received your copy of that as well, as a part of our 25th year anniversary celebrations, as mentioned. With that said, I'm going to introduce, before I move, should you have any questions during the presentation, please use the raise hand function, the Q&A feature, or the comment box, and we will attend to those at each of the appointed breaks. So we have two question and answer breaks. One after the first presentation, and we have one at the end. All right. Today, we will discuss the capabilities of both the fixed wing and quadcopter drones, including the EBX, lightweight regulatory compliant mapping drone, the eBee TAC, a tactical mapping drone specifically designed for situational awareness, the eBee Ag, suitable for the agriculture, industry, and farming, example, crop monitoring and health mapping. Additionally, we have the new DJI Mavic 3 Enterprise, your everyday commercial drone, the Mavic 3 Multispectral, also suitable for the agriculture industry and farmers. And finally, here we have the Matrix 300 drone that is built for your missions. So as I'd mentioned, those are a few of the drones that we have here on offer at Spatial. And now Everard will walk us through enhancing mapping with drone technology.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Matthew. My name is Everard Johnson, and I'm the Geomatics specialist and a sales representative here at Spatial Innovision Limited. Welcome again to today's webinar. Today, we will be talking about the flagship drone of AgEagle, which is the eBee, and the other drones which AgEagle carries, the eBee TAC. There are others such as the eBee Geo and the eBee Ag for agriculture. We will then speak about the DJI quadcopter drone, such as the Mavic 3 Enterprise, the Mavic 3 Multispectral, and the Mavic and the Matrix 300. There are also other quadcopters, but that would be for another webinar, as we don't want to take you away from way too long from your busy schedule. I will now start with the eBee, AgEagle flagship drone. This is the leader in lightweight fixed-wing drones. It is the best fixed-wing drone in the drone industry for surveying, mapping, agriculture, mining, and humanitarian, just to name a few of its applications. The eBee will allow to provide digital terrain model, which is DTM, digital surface model, DSM, and ArcMosaic in surveying and mapping application. You can use this drone to monitor the phases of your project. In construction, it will be used for agriculture application to monitor the crop health, and the result will indicate if the crops need nutrients. In humanitarian procedure, the eBee can assist with safety and rescue, also pre and post disaster mapping. AgEagle X automates complex terrestrial surveying methods and enables professionals to act on valuable data insights while boosting their efficiency and safety. It will efficiently map up to 500 hectares, which is approximately 1,235 acres, while flying at 120 meters, approximately 400 feet. The eBee unlocks a maximum flight time of up to 90 minutes, making it the perfect drone for covering large areas. With the available RTK, which means real-time kinematic, and PPK, post-processing kinematic, allows you to collect data with high precision and achieve the absolute accuracy your aerial mapping project requires. It will give you accuracy down to 1.5 centimeter, which is approximately 0.6 inch, without ground control points. With the on-demand RTK, PPK capabilities of eBee, you can gather data with ease while maintaining high precision across every step of your workflow. Operate safely within more regulatory framework because of the eBee lightweight, which extend your operational possibilities and range. eBee is compatible with wide range of interchangeable drone cameras to suit every project. Capture reliable aerial RGB, thermal, and multispectral imagery. With a eBee, most sites can be covered with one flight. There is no need for ground controls, which save time and cost significantly than if you were using other conventional method. It is designed to map large area autonomously, which enable data collection faster and safer. Therefore, you don't need to control the drone remotely, as it will autonomously fly the flight path, which was set using the eMotion planning software. This drone will give you maximum return on investment. You can fly up to 4 EBX simultaneously with one ground station. I will now speak more about the eMotion software which the EBX uses. The AgEagle eMotion drone flight planning software is beginner friendly, yet packed with advanced features to optimize results. eMotion enables the user to get their drone in the air quickly while including all the functionality you need to collect and manage exactly the geospatial data you required. eMotion includes intuitive mission planning blocks and flight modes to suit every application, from automating single flights to flying multiple eBees at the same time. eMotion full 3D environment add a new dimension to drone flight management, helping you more accurately plan, simulate, and control your drone's trajectory for safer flights, more consistent performance, and improved data quality. Smart features seamlessly integrate and support your workflow. eMotion connects wirelessly to your drone to industry cloud solution, to survey grade base stations, airspace data, and even includes live weather updates. The imagery collected can then be processed to give output results such as point cloud, ArcMosaic, and DSM, digital surface model. The ArcMosaic can be used to measure floor size and plot boundaries, which can be used to calculate population density in an area. It can be used for future housing and road development. Data acquisition can be collected in less time than using conventional method or other types of drones such as quadcopters, which will cover less area in more time. All these results can be achieved in using Esri software such as Drone2Map and other processing software. For agriculture, Pix4D fields, this software and application was discussed in one of our earlier webinars last year. You can view our YouTube channel at Spatial Innovision 3. I will now discuss the new eBee TAC for public safety. Thanks to its lightweight, eBee TAC fixed wing has the best ratio energy compared to heavy VTOL drones. VTOL meaning vertical takeoff and landing drones, offering better energy efficiency. eMotion drone management software for eBee TAC includes a military grid reference system, the geocoordinate standard using for NATO. Cyber secure governmental and tactical mapping drone. Perform in disconnected environments to act precisely. eBee TAC can be operated by one person and deployed in 3 minutes. 3D models, thermal and ArcMosaic maps sharply locally. It's validated cyber secure radio data link with AES 256 encryption, drone log file suppression, encrypted SD card, silent radio mission, low visible signature at 300 meter, acoustically undetected at 300 meter, integratable with Google Earth Enterprise, and it's designed and assembled in Switzerland. The eBee TAC will give a flight time of up to 90 minutes. You can achieve absolute accuracy down to 1.5 centimeter. Efficiently map up to 500 hectares, which is approximately 1,235 acres, while flying at 400 feet. With a flight time of 90 minutes and a flight range of 55 kilometers, eBee TAC can cover large and inaccessible areas. eBee tag is first fixed-wing approved drone to be added to the Defense Innovation Unit. Blue UAS cleared list for procurement by the US Department of Defense and government agency. System added to this list do not require a Department of Defense exception to operate, as they have undergone an evaluation of the drone system capabilities, operation safety, and cyber security. The eBee tag is rugged and shock absorbent to withstand any landing terrain. Now I will mention about the eBee AG, which is the agriculture drone. The eBee AG will give a flight time of up to 55 minutes. You can achieve absolute accuracy down to 2.5 centimeters with a RGB sensor. It will give you the best and most effective multispectral output. It's lightweight, rugged, and durable. Safe and easy to use with the new Duet-M sensor, which is an advanced dual-purpose agriculture camera. The Duet-M will enable you to achieve crop planning, planting, plant health monitoring, crop scouting, pest, disease and weed tracking, yield monitoring, and forecasting, to name few applications of the sensor. The eBee backpacks. Due to the fact that you will be using the drones in difficult to access or remote areas, as such, AgEagle has developed a new backpack case for the eBee and all its drones. With its compact and rugged design, you can now easily take the eBee anywhere you can access on foot. It's a lightweight backpack and still contain everything you need for your flights. As an example, some real-life situations where AgEagle clients have requested something more lightweight and practical, such as mapping of hilly terrain in remote areas where vehicle cannot go, countryside during wet and muddy conditions, and rocky environments. A new AgEagle drone is coming soon, which is the eBee Vision for surveillance. You will hear more about it soon as it is launched. I will now pass you over to our moderator, or my co-host, which is Matthew, to speak more about a short Q&A break.
Thank you very much, Everard. We're just about 20 minutes into today's webinar. So far, a lot has been shared about the eBee, the eBee TAC, the eBee AG, or fixed wing drones from AgEagle, suitable for the agriculture industry, for situational awareness, and just a regular compliance drone that you might need to have. Again, I want to thank everyone. I hope everyone is alert, still with us, and thank you for investing your time for joining us today. We'll just spend a few minutes, shouldn't be more than 5 minutes before we kick off back, just to respond to any questions that would have been shared so far, following which Everard would continue his presentation. If it is that, I'm not seeing any questions, we prepared just a few general FAQs that we also share in this time until we see some questions. However, we do have our first question here from Trisha Ray Rodriguez. So Trisha says, Everard, you mentioned autonomous flights for the eBee. How does it handle obstacles, or are obstacles accounted for in flight planning? That's the first question. The second question is, what is the estimated cost for the EBX? And the last question is, how does Drone2Map differ from the eMotion software in post-processing? So the first question, autonomous flights, how does it handle obstacles, or obstacles accounted for in in-flight planning?
Okay, thank you for that question. All right, in regard to autonomous flights for the EBX, it actually comes with the terrain, a terrain control, where it actually follows the terrain while flying. So as the terrain changes, the drone actually changes its elevation. And the next question would be, how does Drone2Map differ from eMotion software in post-processing? Okay, so Drone2Map is the desktop software which is used to process the image after collecting the information out in the field, while eMotion software is the drone software which is used to plan the flight and execute the flight while in the field. Okay, regarding the estimated costs, once we are finished, we can send you our email address and then we can discuss that further. Or we will email you with further details on that.
All right. Thank you, Everard. Well, I see Trisha says thank you, so we'd have to email her after this. We'd have her email. Another question from Ms. Fletcher. She says, good morning. My question is that I have seen the eBee AG in action in a training. There were issues with flying in terms of the wind speed that they experienced out here in Jamaica. The wind was apparently too strong, so the flight had to be aborted. You have any responses that could help that?
Okay, thanks again for that question. Okay, regarding drones, wind speed is always a factor, right? So what happened is that with the fixed wing, you can fly up to a wind, in a wind of up to 12 meters per second, right? But above that, it will, with the eBee, with the intelligent EBX, it will tell you that the wind is too high and it won't fly if you are actually going to launch it, or while it is in the air, it will actually comes back to where you launch it.
All right. Thank you for that. I hope that helps daily, but you can always let us know. The other question is the drone camera on a 2 or 3 axis gimbal.
Okay, thanks for that question. The drone camera. Okay, so with the EBX, it have interchangeable cameras, right? So it depending on what application you use in the drone for, then you would use that specific camera. So if you're using it for agriculture, you would use an agriculture camera. If you're using it for surveying method, mapping, you would use a photogrammetry camera. And so yes, so there are, if you're using it for 3D, you can use a 3D sensor camera.
All right, so this is the last question that we're going to take so that we can continue into the presentation. Just to point out though, Elton Sampson also asked us to share with him the costing for the EBX and eBee TAC, Everard. So just make a note of that. One last question from Trisha. Does the eBee TAC and eBee AG give the same products as the EBX? So that's the last question that we're answering before we move on.
Okay, regarding the cost, as was said before, that we can email you some information, and once you require costing, you can also email us, right? Okay, for the eBee TAC and eBee Ag, give the same products as the eBee. Okay, so the eBee TAC is mainly for cybersecure and public safety, while the eBee Ag is for agriculture purpose, right? So the eBee can use the sensors that the eBee Ag uses and also the eBee TAG. So the eBee is mostly multi-purpose. Thank you.
All right. So as I interpret that, the EBX as a multi-purpose drone can really help in all situations if you don't want to go specifically the eBee Ag or the eBee TAC. All right. Mr. Rosemond.
That's correct.
I see your question, Mr. Rosemond. We're gonna continue the presentation and pick up the Q&As after. Because also we have a 5-minute break. So Everard, at this point, we're going to close the Q&A section and we're going to continue into the quadcopters. Thank you everyone for being attentive, and we'll continue the presentation at this point. In the chat, you can see.
Okay, thanks for those questions in our first section. And now I will speak about few of the DJI drones which Spatial distribute from the wide range of DJI quadcopters. In focus, you will see the Mavic 3 Enterprise, the Mach 3 300, and the Mavic 3 Multispectral. I will first discuss the Mavic 3 Enterprise series. It redefines industry standards for small commercial drones with a mechanical shutter, a 56 times zoom camera, and an RTK module for centimeter level precision. The Mavic 3E brings mapping and mission efficiency to new heights. A thermal version is also available for firefighting, search and rescue, inspection, and night operations, which is called the Mavic 3T. Streamlined and compact, Mavic 3 Enterprise series can be carried in one hand and deployed at a moment's notice. Perfect for beginner and veteran pilots alike. It's built to perform on lengthy missions. Some of the features that the Mavic 3 carries. Mavic 3E carries. Survey with speed. Mavic 3E's wide angle 20 megapixel sensor has a mechanical shutter to prevent motion blur and support rapid 0.7-second interval shooting. Complete mapping missions with extraordinary efficiency without the need for ground control points. Improve low light performance. The Mavic 3E wide camera has large pixels, that 3.3 pixels, that together with intelligent low light mode offer significantly improved performance in dim conditions. Focus and find. Both Mavic 3E and Mavic 3T are equipped with a 12 megapixel zoom camera supporting up to 56 times max hybrid zoom to see essential details from afar. See the unseen. With the Mavic 3T thermal camera, it has 640 by 512 resolution and supports point and area temperature measurements, high temperature alerts, color palettes, and isotherms to help you find your targets and make quick decisions. It gives a 45-minute flight duration, which enables you to cover more ground with each mission for surveying of up to 2 square kilometers in a single flight. Equipped with wide-angle lenses on all sides for omnidirectional obstacle avoidance with 0 blind spots. Adjust proximity, alarms, and braking distance depending on mission requirements. It has an advanced RTH, which means return to home, automatically plans the optimal route home, saving power, time, and hassle. It comes with a real-time terrain follow. Automatically adjusts altitude when mapping areas with variations in elevation, all without needing to import external elevation data, thanks to Mavic 3E's omnidirectional sensing. Live mission recording. Record mission actions such as aircraft movements, gimbal orientation, photo shooting, and zoom level to create sample mission files for future automated flights. Linear mission planning. Create automated flight missions of highways, rivers, oil pipelines, and more with linear mission planning. Simple, draw a line on the map and it divides the area into mappable segments for straightforward surveying. For the Mavic 3 Multispectral, effective aerial surveying needs to see the invincible. That's why Mavic 3 Multispectral has 2 forms of sight. It combines an RGB camera with a multispectral camera to scan and analyze crop growth with total clarity. Agriculture production management requires precision and data, and the Mavic 3M delivers both. Some of the Mavic 3 multispectral feature includes multispectral plus RGB imaging system. Its newly upgraded imaging system with 1 20-megapixel RGB camera and 4 5-megapixel multispectral cameras, which is a green, red edge, and near infrared, enables applications such as high precision, aerial surveying mapping, crop growth monitoring, and natural resource surveying. It's safe and stable. The aircraft features multiple wide field of view vision sensors that accurately detect obstacles in all directions for omnidirectional obstacle avoidance. The terrain follow aerial surveying can be easily performed in steep slope landscape. Precise positioning. Centimeter level RTK position, real-time kinematic positioning. Mavic 3M with RTK module for centimeter level positioning. Flight control, the camera and the RTK module sync in microseconds to accurately capture the location of each camera's imaging center. This enables Mavic 3M to do high precision aerial surveying without using ground control points. Efficient aerial surveying. A single flight can complete mapping operations over an area of 200 hectares. Sunlight sensor. The built-in sunlight sensor captures solar irradiance and records it in an image file, allowing for light compensation of image data during 2D reconstruction. This results in more accurate normalized difference vegetation index, NDVI, results, as well as improve accuracy and consistency of data acquired over time. The Mavic 3M will give you a flight duration of up to 43 minutes. It also have the ArcGIS mapping. The Mavic 3M allows terrain follow aerial surveying of arches, even and slope landscapes. Together with DJI Terra, our DJI Smart Farm platform, to reconstruct high-resolution arched maps, automatically identify the number of trees, distinguish trees from other obstacles or objects, and generate three-dimensional operational routes for agricultural drones, making operations safer and more efficient. Its guide variable rate applications for rich fertilization, cotton growth regulation, and potato fertilizer spraying. The Mavic 3M is used to obtain multi-spectral images of crops. DJI Terra or the DJI Smart Farm platform can then generate NDVI and other vegetation indices maps, capturing differences in crop potential and generating prescription maps that allow agriculture drones to execute variable rate application. This ultimately allows users to reduce costs, increase yield, and protect the environment. Environment mapping, monitoring, and natural resource survey. The Mavic 3M can also be used in environment and natural resource surveys, such as water enrichment monitoring, forest distribution surveys, urban green area survey, and more. It also have the intelligent field scouting, which is the illustration shown. The Mavic 3M carry out automatic field scouting. The field scout images can be uploaded to DJI Smart Farm platform in real time through a 4G network. It can find abnormalities such as emergence deficiencies, weed pressure, and crop lodging. In a timely manner. It can also conduct intelligent analysis such as cotton seedling identification and rice production testing using AI identification for real-time sharing of crop growth information, guidance of agronomic activities, and easy management of 70 hectares of farmland by one person. And AI means artificial intelligence. I will now speak about the Matrix 300. The Matrix 300 RTK is DJI's latest commercial drone platform that takes inspiration from modern aviation systems, offering up to 55 minutes of flight time, advanced AI, artificial intelligence capabilities, 6 directions, sensing and positioning. The M300 RTK sets a whole new standard by combining intelligence with high performance and unrivaled reliability. With the multiple payload configurations, your M300 RTK will fit all your mission needs. Mount up to 3 payloads simultaneously with a maximum payload capacity of 2.7 kilograms. You can put 1 sensor on top of the drone and another 2 underneath. Sensors such as Zenmuse L1 for LiDAR surveying, which goes beneath vegetation to ground, Zenmuse H20N for night vision, Zenmuse H20T for thermal heating and also ordinary photogrammetry RGB sensor and multispectral sensor for agriculture. That's just to say the Matrix 300 can use interchangeable sensors. Some of the functionalities of the M300 are live mission recording, where you can record mission actions such as aircraft movement, gimbal orientation, photo shooting, and zoom level to create sample mission files for future automated inspection. AI spot checks. This automates routine inspections and capture consistent results every time. Onboard artificial intelligence recognizes the subject of interest and identifies it in subsequent automated missions to ensure consistent framing. Waypoint 2.0, create up to 65,535 waypoints and set multiple actions for one or more payloads, including third-party ones at each waypoint. Flight path planning is also optimized to maximize flexibility and efficiency for your mission. I will now speak about some of the processing software which you would use in the office, such as Drone2Map. ArcGIS Drone2Map is a desktop app for your geographic information system drone mapping needs. Use any modern drone to capture high-resolution imagery where and when you need it. Immediately after the flight in the field, process images on your laptop and perform desktop and perform drone analytics on your natural color, thermal, infrared, or multispectral data sets. As part of the ArcGIS system, Drone2Map provides easy access to a range of tools and capabilities for accurate mapping and geospatial analysis. As a 2D and 3D photogrammetry app, Drone2Map lets you create the output you need, including orthomosaics, 3D point clouds, and texture meshes, and then easily share them with your ArcGIS organization for greater collaboration and awareness. It's simple as once you complete the flight in the field, go back to the office and create a project to download your drone imagery on your desktop, add ground control points, and automatically process to create 2D and 3D output. Then visualize and analyze by viewing 2D and 3D outputs. Make measurement, track changes, and perform other analysis with Drone2Map. Then perform advanced analysis. Open your project easily in ArcGIS Pro to use a range of tools such as advanced spatial, temporal, and spectral analysis and data management. After, you can share your imagery outputs with your organization or with public as feature layers, web maps, imagery layers, and more. And another software is the ArcGIS Reality, which is a new software in the Esri suite of Esri softwares. ArcGIS Reality for ArcGIS Pro enables you to generate various types of 2D and 3D products from drones, digital aerial, satellite, and scanned aerial photography. The product types that can be generated depend on the workspace type created, either reality mapping or ortho mapping. You will get further information on this soon in another webinar. I will now pass back to Matthew.
All right. Thank you very much, Everard, for speaking about the quadcopter options and just giving an overview on both the ArcGIS Drone2Map and ArcGIS Reality for ArcGIS Pro. As Everard mentioned, those would be covered in a future webinar to get more meat on the matter. Now, before I actually do open the floor for additional questions, I just want to inform you about AgEagle's trade up trading offer, which is valid until June 30th of this year. In terms of the offer details specifically, all right, so I'm going to, in a follow-up slide, I'm going to show you what option 1, 2, and 3 are, but just for the purpose before I get there, for option 1, all professional fixed wing, VTOL, and multi-rotor drones are eligible for the trade-up, regardless of its condition, type, or brand. So I'll also share with you a few pictures of some of those eligible drones. For options 2 and 3, it's applicable to any eBee drone that you may have, regardless of its age and condition. For more information on that, you could also send us an email at drones@spatialvision.com. And just a reminder that this is valid until the 30th of June. So in terms of the bundles, so you have a premium bundle, which is option 1, which is applicable to all professional fixed wing, VTOL, and multi-rotor drones. For option 1, when you trade that up, you would get an EBX mapping drone, 1 premium camera of your choice between the Area X, Soda 3D, or the Duet M. Similarly, the RTK, PPK activation, the eMotion flight planning software, which Everard spoke about, backpack, which you saw an image of, along with the accessories, and 1-year warranty. So that is pretty much for every professional fixed wing VTOL or multi-rotor drone, along with any eBee drone, older eBee drone that you might have, which would have been option 2. For option 3, however, which is strictly for the applicable to the eBee drones that you might have, regardless of its age or condition. When you keep your payload, you would still get, when you trade up, you would get an EBX mapping drone, one of the regulatory compliant ones, the eMotion flight planning software, the backpack, and the accessories. And again, this is if you keep your payload. If you have any questions about that particular offer, again, you can always email us at drones@spatialvision.com. As promised, sharing here a few of the drones that are eligible for trade up. So you have your fixed wing, your VTOL, your multi-rotor, and similarly from the eBee suite, you have the Swinglet Cam, the eBee Classic, eBee RTK, the Albris, the eBee Plus, and the eBee SQ, which a few of you may have at this time. All right. So again, you can email us at drones@spatialvision.com for more information about that. Now, at this juncture, I'm going to get back into the questions and answers. So we have a few questions, but before I go into the first question, we have made notes of all of the participants who have asked for pricing on the particular drones. So we've made those notes and we will prepare them. So I'm just going to go through the names that I have here. I have an Andre Reed, and Owen Lagonde, Trisha Ray Rodriguez, Elton Sampson, and Algernon Grant. Those are the names that I have for who has asked us for some pricing details in terms of to send information to. For the participants that have asked about if the recording will be shared, yes. So once the webinar is finished, we actually upload the webinar recording to our YouTube channel, which we would measure. I saw Delia's response as well about a DJI drone. So we're capturing that as well. But yes, so the recording will be hosted on our YouTube channel. Following the webinar, you'll get a post-webinar emailer that will include a direct link to the recording of the session and it will also have some other video information that you can watch and some links, because I know that some of you may have asked for links to look at the Mavic drone. We'll share those links in that email as well. So that will answer those questions directly. So I'm going to get right back to Randolph's questions. That's where we had stepped off. So I'm going to answer Randolph's question and then go down to the remaining questions that I will see in the chat. So the first question, Everard, is, well, I guess the next question I should say is, she says that he's from the Ministry of Agriculture of St. Lucia and he is a drone pilot with the MOA drone team. Please let me know what's the advantages of using an eBee Ag versus a Phantom Pro 4 V2 quadcopter, which we own for mapping and much more. So they own a Phantom 4 Pro 4 V2, and you want to know what are the advantages of using the eBee Ag.
Okay, so thanks for that question. All right, some of the differences with our advantages with the Phantom 4 and the eBee Ag would be the time, which is a major difference. For the time the drone would actually be able to fly, because I think the Phantom 4 will fly just for 25 minutes, while you can get a 55 minutes for the eBee Ag. And also the sensor that the drones uses, because the eBee Ag uses a Sequoia Plus sensor or the Duet M sensor. With the Duet M sensor, it comes with a RGB camera and also a multispectral sensors. Right, so those are the major. So with the sensors, it can give you different capabilities for what you need, for your needs, such as the crop health. Some just can give like crop health, some can give like the amount of nutrients based off the analysis from the sensors. You can get to know if the crops need nutrients. So those are the major factors.
All right, thank you, Everard. So Randolph, you can let me know if that answers your questions, and then you can always share more questions in the chat as we go through, and I'll pick up. The next question I have here is from Delia. She had asked a question, Delia Fletcher, she had asked a question earlier. She says, how many batteries does the Mavic 3E and 3M drones come with?
Okay, so the 3E comes with one battery, but it depends on the package that you buy. If you buy the bundle package, you get 3 batteries. So you would get 3 extra battery and the 1 battery that it comes with.
All right. And the question from Mr. Mahabir, does the Mavic 3 utilize goggle technology for cinematic video capture? I see goggle. I don't know if it's Google. The Mavic 3, yeah, the Mavic 3.
The Mavic 3, I would have to check on that and get back to you. But yes, I know that, but the Mavic 3E is different from the Mavic 3 because they are different series. So you have the one for cinematic, like the one that you are asking about, the Mavic 3. So I will check on that and see, and I can always email you that response.
All right, so make a note for Mr. Mohabir. We need to get back to him about the cinematic features of the Mavic 3, right? All right. Delia has asked if is the software required for the drones provided by Spatial Innovision as well?
Yes, all the softwares are provided by Spatial Innovision.
All right, so let me jump to, I'm going to answer Trisha's question next. Then I'm going to do Trisha, Elton, and then we're going to get to Leighton Heslop's questions. All right, so Trisha's question is, Do all the drones discussed collect elevation data for DEM, DSM, DTM generation, or is this capability drone specific? She heard that the elevation products listed for the EBX, but she wasn't clear if the capacity extends to the eBee TAC or eBee Ag.
Okay, so thanks for that question again. All right, so yes, all of the drones that were discussed, which is the Mavic 3E, and the E is the one, not the Mavic 3, because you have different types of drone, of Mavic 3, right? So the Mavic 3E does capture all of those data. And also the AG, the eBee AG and the EBX and the eBee tag. Yeah, all of those.
All right, perfect. Elton wants to know if we offer after-sales service for the DJI drones.
Yes, we do. So once you request it, then we can actually put that in the costing when we are actually doing the quotation.
All right, excellent. All right, so I'm gonna move to Leighton Hessop's questions, which he sent two, but I believe it's probably in one. So it says, can the eBee drone function in remote areas where there is no available place to land or take off? Can the eBee drone, so whether the EBX, the TAC, the fixed wings, are they functional in remote areas?
Okay, so the eBee AG and the eBee TAC and also the EBX, they land linear. They have a linear landing procedure. So they will need like maybe about half of a football field, open space to actually land, right? So yes, so it does have they do have a steep landing procedure, but that still would need maybe about half or 3/4 of half the area of a football field.
So in a situation where I guess space is tight, a quadcopter is the better option for those remote areas, in a nutshell. Jonathan asked, are the software products mentioned of a one-time purchase or subscription based? And then additionally, are they capable of cloud processing functions?
Okay, so for the Drone2Map, that's a subscription base, and which you would have to purchase, annually. And yes, it does have a cloud processing function.
All right, so I believe that I'd have gone through most of the questions here. We are 2 minutes up onto the hour. I'm just going to go through there's probably two of the general FAQs if there are no more questions, and then we can wrap. All right, seen a question from Randolph. He says, we are able to do all of what you outlined with their drones and drone deploy software. The only difference is flight time. Quadcopters would be better for islands with mountainous terrains. So that's what this is comment. So to just ask you probably about two of the general questions, Everard, that we had. All right, so the first one I had here was, just for clarity, what tasks do you believe that you could use a drone for on a job site?
Okay, so thanks for that question, Matthew. Okay, so for job site, you can use it for mapping and pre-construction planning, construction processing monitoring and documentation, roof and structure inspection, volumetric surveying, spot checks, insurance documentation, marketing imagery. So for the mapping and pre-construction planning, The drones offer a safe, effective, and efficient way to get accurate information on site conditions. It captures basic imagery to help stakeholders visualize the scope of the project and foresee any potential challenges. And for roof and structure inspection, the aerial building inspection with drones dramatically cut down the time need to get accurate insight into the state of roofs and facades without putting the inspector at risk. And I think that would actually answer your question.
Yeah, man. So those are just a few of the use cases. Mr. Sampson wants to know what specific drones would you recommend for geological exploration and mineral exploration?
Okay, so the drone that would be recommended for that would be because the sensor is what you actually need to carry out the task. So for that, I would recommend the Mavic 3E or the EBX with a for the Mavic 3, for the EBX, I would recommend the Area X sensor. Those are the two drones that I would recommend.
All right. So we're just taking a few more questions. So Tristan asks, would additional software outside of ArcGIS be needed in analyzing things such as crop health, etc.?
Thanks for that question. Okay, so it depends on what exactly you want to achieve from the processing. So if it's that you're actually going to need additional analytics, such as the health of the trees, health of vegetation, and things like that, you would need like you have like different software such as Pix4D Fields, which makes specifically for that type of analysis. But also the Drone2Map does have the capability of doing it.
All right, and to one of the questions, so based on Randolph's answer, I'm going to ask you a question. It says, so in the case that the company already has drones, when would a company want to outsource?
Yeah, thanks for that question again, Matthew. All right, so many companies have invested in drone hardware and training for crew members. So this is smart and cost-effective strategy for performing simple tasks, but the more complex mission, the more likely it will be beneficial to hire an outside drone provider to complete the job, even if you have a pilot on site. So, and we'll be happy to consult on your mission because Spatial does offer drone mapping solutions.
All right, so yeah, thank you very much, Everard. I'll leave the floor open probably about another minute. If there are any additional questions, but if no additional questions come in, let me just share with you where you can reach us at, just in case you have any questions that you can't think of now. Feel free to send us an email at drones@spatialvision.com. You can always send us an email at drones@spatialvision.com. You can also call our offices here at 876-969-2239. 876-969-2239. All right, we got a link from Randolph to see what their drones do. So I'll share that with you, Everard, after the meeting. And we'll have, I guess, our last question here for today, or we have two questions. So I'm going to answer both those questions and just wrap it. All right. Is a drone operator at UA in Trinidad. What image processing program do you recommend to process multispectral images attained from a matrix 200 using a slant range multispectral sensor?
Okay, thanks again for that question. Okay, so Drone2Map can actually do that also. And also, if you want to go to advanced, you can use others such as the Pix4D fields.
All right, so the last question that we are taking today, do you offer services to locate lost drones? That's our final question, and that's from Mr. Heslop.
Okay, so for lost drones, you have some apparatus that can be bought with the drone, such as the eBee, which you actually put on the drone while flying. So if it's lost, it was easily found. So you can actually always track it.
All right, thank you, Everard. And I also want to thank everyone for joining us today. Really appreciate everybody investing their time, whether this morning or this afternoon, your time, to learn about the drones that are here, some of the drone mapping software, and we have some work to do on our side to follow up with a few of you. Again, if you have any additional questions, you can always feel free to reach out to us at drones@spatialvision.com. And for those attendees who we've been asked to do some follow-ups with, so some of you include Andre Reed, Owen Lagonde, Shusha Rodriguez, Elton Sampson, Abdela Fletcher, Algernon Grant, Tristan Alvarez, and Mr. Mahaber. We have your information here. If there's anybody that we left off, I'll go back to the chat and ensure that we capture it. But again, you can always reach out to us at drones@spatialvision.com. Again, thank you for the time, and we hope that you do enjoy the rest of your day and also the rest of your week. So have a great day, everyone, and looking forward to being in touch in the future. Thanks again.